Hey everybody, oh my goodness, this right here, the child did not have a chance. This here, it makes no sense. If she didn't want the child, all they had to do, me, her, and her baby daddy, all they had to do was take the child to the fire station. This right here just shows me the evil and the depravity of this creature, of these two creatures, the mom and the dad, that are labeled as human beings. And here's one thing about it, I just noticed in this community, my friend, I mentioned that before, he told me, he was like, I said, hey, why don't you say anything when they were talking about that lady, baby mom and all that? He says, oh no, what did he say? Because what? Because she's protected. You say something, yep, they'll turn around on you and you're the bad guy. This right here, I don't know what all it would take. When they had these pictures right here, that tells you all you need to know. Those children should have never been let back in. They should have never been let back into her custody. Appropriate caregiver, I think not. Appropriate unaliver. And here's the thing about it: the fact that there's a history with this here. Did the police even check the history out? Because she did say she got them back, then that would tell me, if you cared, you need to go ahead and oh, you just got them back from foster care. That should have been an alarm bell. Hold the phone. We're not going to take your word. Well, she said he looked okay. You think? See, that right there, when she said that, I blame sloppy police work. And I'm going to tell you something, whether you want to face it or not, some of us like to live in a chimerical world, a world of fantasy. I don't want to hear about getting no darn help. The help she need will be life in prison. And the fool is pregnant again. Got to be kidding me. When she said that she just got the kids from foster care, I think the police should have then did more checking, because that statement alone, to me, that's a red flag. Plus the 911 call. Well, of course, seeing a police car, you're not going to start beating them then. So that right there, I really think, my opinion, they had a lackadaisical attitude. Look okay to me and keep moving. See, here's what I want to tell you. And again, some of us don't want to face the truth, but go right ahead. That's why you can't have change, because we're so quick to deflect, some of us. And we want to go ahead and side with the one that's doing a horrible deed. Why did that happen? That was a lousy check, if you ask me. When she said foster care, that should have been a ding, 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 ding. Start checking some records. Yeah, but we're going to call again because now we got this 911 call. And how would a person know that and describe a red shirt? He happens to be wearing one. Why didn't they not then say, hey, she just said this here? Just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and contact CPS again. Why didn't they do that? In my opinion, they really didn't care. Newsflash. Some of the parents don't care about these kids. Let's face it. Let's stop all of a sudden because some people are baby mama, give them a badge. You, honey, just because you got, by yourself, having all these kids, oh, look at that poor woman. What kind of woman is she? Not a decent woman, because a decent woman wouldn't even think about harming her kids. That right there should have been the red flag to go ahead and investigate. You know what? Well, we got this call here. There's a history of this here. They say get involved. People do. It seems to fall on deaf ears. So at that time, I think what they should have done, the police is call. Let's put them in the CPS, just have them checked out. But guess what? That didn't happen. Well, why not? I think they didn't care. Yeah, be realistic in your thinking. Stop going into this fantasy world. Poor, black, a child. What you think? Put the marks on that child alone. Whoever labeled her as an appropriate caregiver, I don't know if you're lazy. That person is lazy, hates children. That person should be fired, because a caregiver would not do this to their appropriate caregiver. Wow. Now we know. Appropriate death giver. 2 years old, did not ask to be here, and a life of torture. A lot. Unbelievable. And you can hear they said like metal, probably her dumping him into the dumpster. Wow. All those kids should be taken. She and the dad deserve, in my opinion, life in prison. And you don't have to get pregnant. Now, here's a part. I'm going to play this. I found this rather disturbing.
After that 911 call, we didn't receive any responses. Gracie Martin, Jacoby's grandmother, says she doesn't know if her son, Jacoby's father, was even aware of the abuse and believes the agency that gave Deja Smith custody is to blame.
Wow. Now, if my understanding, there's been quite a few, more than one news report on this. I thought they lived together. But already, this is the problem with the community. Watch, you can do a video calling out the male or female, and somebody gonna get in their feelings. Well, go ahead and get into your feelings. I mean, that's you. That's the problem. Common sense is not so common. The community of deflect. This going on again. As I understand, I thought that they lived together. The chick done got us silly ass behind pregnant again. Oh my gosh.
His grandmother says she doesn't know if her son, Jacoby's father, was even aware of the abuse.
Well, ma'am, if he lived with her and he's the baby dad of those other children, how the heck are you going to say he's not aware of the abuse? He might be staying with her free on. She probably got a voucher going on and need those kids for a way to survive. Hate to tell you, it wouldn't surprise me. She's already down one by that beautiful child being placed in the dumpster. Oh, my benefits might change. Get pregnant again. You mean to tell me if this man is in the home, it blows my mind. These mothers, boy, they'll protect these sons to the end. If they could walk on glass, walk through fire, they would to save Tyrone. How could he not know? How could he not know if he is in that home? And you want to blame who for this?
Police about whether anyone made a report or investigated in the days after that 911 call. We didn't receive any responses. Gracie Martin, Jacoby's grandmother, says she doesn't know if her son, Jacoby's father, was even aware of the abuse and believes the agency that gave Deja Smith.
So already she wants to go ahead. I can see how this is going to turn out. Already what she's trying to do is save her dusty ass sons behind. She's trying to save him. Don't want him in prison for too long. What could he do? Let's see. Probably get out and get somebody else pregnant and cause the very same thing. Already she is on team save my son. If he's residing there, he is their father. He's living with this breeder here. What do you think? I doubt he's at work busy all day. Already, that tells me she's trying to set the stage to save her lousy, worthless, what I deem as a worthless human being son. Never fails. He's the father. He couldn't stop it. How is he the father? You didn't see the marks on that child? Are you kidding me? Already, here comes Black Queen, Mammy Mama. She's got that cape on trying to save the day for her son. How did he not know if he's residing in that home? They're saying those are his children. They should have never been let back in. The CPS worker, whoever deemed her to be a competent caregiver, what have you, that person should be fired and not allowed to work in an organization ever again. That person should be fired. This right here is how criminals are made. This is how criminals are made. When they come from dysfunctional homes like this, this is how criminals are made. When they have people like this who raise them and abuse them, and then you wonder why the kids are so angry. Then you wonder why the beast looks the way it does, full of violence. You wonder why the kids get so angry they don't care anything about beating somebody, or somebody, even killing somebody. Don't give a darn why. It's the environment that they come from. It is the environment. This is how heartless, beastified, criminalized children are made. This is how murderers are made. That little white boy, I think they're saying it's another student that made another black student a tree ornament. What kind of child goes to school and HANG somebody? HANGS. Something in that home is being taught. The hatred, the cleverness, the diabolical. The mom and dad need to be held accountable. Pressing charges. Not as to mean a lawsuit, criminal charges. For a child to do that, that's that home life. This is how criminals are made. They are bred. It's not they saw the school don't turn them into a criminal. Nah, it's in the home. Dusty Dan, the killing man, his kid that may have done that, it starts in the home. So their kids are abused so much and they just become angry. You wonder why they get in the streets. They have no problems carjacking you, shooting you. Innocence lost. Kid never was a kid, just born into a freaking war zone. And in this case here, I bet the war zone is this apartment sponsored by the taxpayers. They both deserve life in prison. I hope whatever happens to them, let them happen. Let it happen. They both deserve life in prison. But already I can see when I heard that last part, Black Queen Mama, it seems already are you trying to get a defense for your son?
To see him in that dumpster, that's something I'd never be able to get out of my head. We asked both the county and police about whether anyone made a report or investigated in the days after that 911 call. We didn't receive any responses. Gracie Martin, Jacoby's
Sometimes the lack of an answer is the answer. Let's be honest. Do you really think they care? Do you really think so? In my opinion, they don't. But newsflash, neither does the community in most cases, and sure as hell the parents. Wow.
Grandmother says she doesn't know if her son, Jacoby's father, was even aware of the abuse and believes the agency that gave Asia Smith custody is to blame.
So let's see. Did the agency give birth to the child? Did the agency raise the child in that home? I think the agency does share some responsibility, but the agency didn't put the marks on that baby. The agency did not beat or scratch that. Did you see that? I don't want to show it again. It's too much. The agency didn't do that. And if he was a man that cared, a man messing with his child that cared, they'll lay you out first. I remember I was a kid and I had loaned my bike out to someone, and I guess they called themselves going to keep it because they came from a family of large children and they didn't really have anything. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, my father came out and he was like, I said, oh yeah, I think the person was going to got the bike, and they were like, they had a lot of kids. So my father came out there on the porch. I said, a person still has my bike. You know what I mean? So my dad came out there and he addressed the issue. And I think he saw that, oh, these are some hood children. You must be from a hood parent environment. Okay. And he mirrored. So I'm just going to say, my wonderful father spoke in a language that they understood. And there was a bunch of them out there. My father spoke in a language that they understood. He didn't use any profanity, but the tone said it all. And so I just stood by and watched. And then that rugrat that came from a family of I don't know how many children, it's not my fault. That's your circumstance, but I learned real quick. You don't share with them. Like when they were busting those kids into the neighborhood, just leave them alone. That's a different kind of breed. They may be black like you. They're from the projects. Some of them had a little attitude. Okay, trying to be nice to you, but you don't get it. So that right there, all I know is he spoke in a tone that they understood, and he used no profanity, but it may have been a ASS word, my daughter's bike, because yeah. And I got my bike back, and that was the end of that. No dealing with trash. No dealing with trash. What's the point? A father is a protector. My dad was not gonna let them. I let them person use my bike. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't gonna let them sit up here and just take my bike, Joe major. But tell your daddy go buy you one. That's not my fault. But see, you learn again. There are cultures within cultures. Learn the ones that's busting out that bus. Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Leave them alone. This right here, I think she's trying to lay a plan for her son not to be held accountable, saying that, if he gave a darn about his children, if he's living there, man, there's no way he could not have known. As if, oh, he works all day, y'all, and let's see why the beatings only happen when he's at work. You don't give your child a hug, pick them up. The beads were on the arms and the neck. How you gonna miss that? But already, Mama the mammy step in. I don't think maybe my son didn't know about that. Are you really serious? Again, you wonder why these kids are out here committing these crimes. They're so cold and they're so heartless and they are so angry. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. The seed of poverty D, raised in the community. They grow up beaten, abused, battered. And when they're out there in those streets, they will take what they want. They will not think twice about unaliving thee. They won't. Why? Seed of poverty D. This is how criminals are born. And she put that child in. And then the last part, I just can't get over. In conclusion, say what?
She also says she's going to be a grandmother again because Smith is pregnant in jail with her sixth child.
Pregnant again with her sixth child. You gotta be kidding. Pregnant again with her sixth child. I wonder if she maybe got pregnant on purpose. I just kind of wonder. Keep my benefits rolling. This is why I hate to say it, and for the decent single mothers. But this is why when people say a single mom with a whole bunch of children, they don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. What the lady said about one needing help. She said, "Well, who told her to have six kids?" That's a good question. That is a very good question. Who told you to do that? What happens when the money starts drying up? More of this abuse. Anyway, just horrible. Oh my gosh. 2 years old. A life of just terror. Mrs. Poverty D and Poverty P, I hope a life sentence is waiting for thee. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and sharing them out. I hope those other children can be taken into other loving homes. I don't trust anybody, even the grandmother. I don't know if you're going to be up to it. I hope somebody with a strong hanging mentality, because I think those kids they should be checked out. There's probably a lot of mental damage. They could be abused as well. And even if they weren't abused, just to actually see the abuse, that right there, I think it have lasting effects. Again, thanks for watching. I'm out.